The Colorado Avalanche dominate Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final 7-0. They beat the Tampa Bay Lightning to take a 2-0 series lead. Hi, I'm Alex Frank of the Perfect Season podcast alongside Anthony Fiorentino, a Tampa Bay Lightning fanatic who I'm sure is not in the greatest mood today, unfortunately. And of course, alongside Alex Sardinas and Leon Parker. Colorado winning Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final last night 7-0. Them winning is not a shock. The way they won is. Tampa Bay did not look like they belonged on the same ice as Colorado. Colorado came right out of the gate, scored early, and as soon as it became 3-0 in the first period, the game was effectively over. And by the way, they didn't stop at 3-0. It became 5-0 at the end of 2, and then 7-0 at the end of the game. Cale Makar and Valeri Nichushkin with 2 goals each, or Nishushkin rather, pronounced that wrong, 2 goals each in the win. Colorado outshooting Tampa Bay on goal, shots on goal 30-16, and the Avalanche are now 2 wins away from their first Stanley Cup in 21 years, and Tampa Bay, for the second consecutive series, trails 2-0. I'm stunned. I am honestly shocked. I thought after Game 1, with the way it was played, with the competitiveness that it was played on both sides, that Tampa Bay would come out and even the series in Game 2. But the complete opposite happened. Tampa Bay did not look like they belonged in this series. Tampa Bay looked confused. They looked out of sorts. Andrei Vasilevskiy, with no doubt the worst performance of his postseason career, a postseason career that has been nothing short of spectacular. But he could not stop Colorado's offense last night. We knew the Avalanche had a good offense coming into the series. They averaged nearly 5 goals per game in the first 3 series. But I don't think we anticipated 11 goals through the first 2 games. And by the way, lost in all this is Darcy Kemper. Let's not forget this Tampa Bay offense is really good too. Let's not forget that Braden Point, their leading scorer in each of the previous 2 postseasons, has come back. And Tampa Bay just looks, ever since the second period of Game 1, they have not scored a goal. It's hard to win a series when you're giving up a lot of goals and you're not scoring any goals in retaliation. This series is on the brink. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to get swept. They're the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions for a reason. But then again, Colorado just looks like the better team, and it's not even close. To watch this team, Colorado reminds me a lot of Tampa Bay each of the last 2 years. They've got multiple guys on the ice at one time that can score at will, whether it's Nathan MacKinnon, whether it's Nazem Kadri, whether it's Cale Makar, whether it's Valeri Nichushkin, whether it's Andrei Burakovsky, who got injured last night in Game 2, whether it's Landeskog. There are just so many guys on the ice at one time who can score. And that's what Tampa Bay was each of the last 2 years. And this is what's shocking to me. Tampa Bay still has Steven Stamkos, Andre Palat, Sergachev, Nikita Kucherov, Andre Palat, who I maybe already mentioned, Braden Point, Ryan McDonough. There is just way too much talent on this Tampa Bay team, and yet they've been outscored in this series 11-3, and we're only through 2 games. Now, Game 3 is tomorrow night. This series is on the brink. If Tampa Bay loses Game 3, this series is over officially. I don't think it's over yet because this is the 2-time defending champions. But at the same time, I think Tampa Bay looks gassed. Like, they played 7 games in the first round against Toronto. They swept Florida, which gave them a nice break before the Eastern Conference Finals. But they had to come back from down 2-0 in that series and 2-0 in Game 3. So they have played, so far this postseason, they have played 19 games. Colorado has only played 14. 5 hockey game difference? That's a lot. And considering Tampa Bay has played deep into the postseason as far as you can go, winning it all each of the last 2 years, Colorado just looks like the far and away fresher team. And you know what? If it ends this way, Tampa Bay had a great run. But something in me tells me that this series is not going to end in a sweep. I don't think it's even going to end in 5 games. I think Tampa Bay can very easily win the next 2 games at home. Now, I said they can easily win Game 2, and look what happened. But I just think you look at this series, And you look at who Tampa Bay is, I don't think it's going to end this way. And did Colorado save enough goals for the rest of the series? I mean, some teams only score 11 goals in a 7-game series. Some teams score 11 goals in 6 or 5 games. But 2 games, do they have enough firepower left in them? I mean, the Rangers scored 9 goals in the first 2 games against Tampa Bay, and then they only scored 5 the rest of the series. So there is hope if you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. I'm talking to you, Anthony. But the way last night's game played out, Tampa Bay looked like they did not belong on the same ice as Colorado. Colorado is just so fast, so explosive, so prolific offensively. And Darcy Kemper had a shutout last night. He only had to stop 16 shots on goal. Clearly, Jared Bednar, the head coach of the Avalanche, made a good decision to start him in goal for the first 2 games in the series. He was coming back from injury, but you would not know that by the way he's performed in this series so far. Game 3 tomorrow night on ABC from Amalie Arena or Amalie Arena, however you pronounce it. I've heard Amalie from Mike Emmerich. Anthony tells me it's Amalie. I'm not sure. All I know is Game 3 is in Tampa tomorrow night, ABC, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Sean McDonough, Ray Ferraro, Brian Boucher, Emily Kaplan on the call on ABC. Game 3 pregame coverage on ABC starts at 7:30. Steve Levy, Mark Messier, and Chris. I forget his name already. Chilius. Is it Chris Chilius, I think? Anyway, sorry if I butchered that name. Pre-game starts 7:30 from Tampa. Let's go through some Major League Baseball scores from yesterday, a full slate of action. The Cubs winning their second straight game against the Braves 6-3. The Yankees have now won 8 in a row and 16 of their last 17, beating Toronto yesterday 4-0. The Giants have now won 3 straight series. They beat the Pirates 7-5. Tampa Bay winning in Baltimore 7-6. Brad Keller with a 1-hit shutout through 7 innings to lift the Royals to a 2-0 win in Oakland. Mike Trout with a game-winning 2-run home run in the top of the 10th to give the Angels a 4-2 win in Seattle. That was in Game 1 of the doubleheader. He then hit another home run in Game 2 for a 3-0 Angels win. Detroit Tigers top prospect Riley Green reaching base 4 times in his big league debut as Detroit beats Texas 14-7. The White Sox score 7 runs off Justin Verlander in a 7-0 win at Houston. Taijuan Walker strikes out 9 in 6 2/3 innings. The Mets edge the Marlins 3-2. The Brewers winning in Cincinnati 7-3. Aaron Nola with 8 shutout innings as the Phillies in Washington win 2-1 in 10 innings. The Dodgers with a 7-1 win over the Guardians. St. Louis with 6 runs in the 6th en route to an 11-2 win in Boston. Ryan McMahon with a game-winning home run in the 8th to lift Colorado to a 5-4 win over San Diego. Dylan Bundy going 8 innings in Minnesota's 11-1 win over Arizona. Right now, currently on Peacock, the Phillies are taking on the Nationals. That game being commentated by Jason Benetti, Kevin Franson, Ruben Amaro Jr., and Ahmed Fareed. You can catch that game again on Peacock. The White Sox and Astros tonight on ESPN at 7 o'clock. Battle of last year's American League, rematch of last year's American League Division Series. College World Series today, ESPN elimination game at 2. The in-state rivalry between Texas and Texas A&M. And then at 7 o'clock, double elimination game. No team will be eliminated in this game. Notre Dame taking on Oklahoma. But the big story here, Colorado leading Tampa Bay 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Final and a dominant 7-0 win in Game 2 last night. Lightning, though, reigning 2-time Stanley Cup champions, I do believe a response is in them tomorrow night in Tampa Bay for Game 3. I'm Alex Frank for the Perfect Season Podcast, and that is your Sunday sports update. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, and I will be back tomorrow to recap a full day of Major League Baseball and the College World Series and to look ahead to Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final.